You know, I've had a lot of teachers throughout my life, dozens and dozens. And it's funny because only a few really stick out to me, and only a few really land on that list of teachers that really changed my life. And when I started thinking about what set these teachers apart from all the others, honestly, I think the one thing it came down to was that these teachers genuinely wanted a relationship with me. I didn't have a sense that all they wanted to do was communicate some content or download some information in my head. They genuinely wanted to know me. And as you go about starting a club and investing in all of these kids, you may not have 5 days a week where you see these kids like a teacher, but I honestly believe you have the same opportunity to have the same impact and an even greater impact on these kids' lives. And here's the thing, when you think about it, Jesus himself, when he really wanted to bring influence into somebody's life, he really focused on developing a relationship. He showed his love and his kindness to these people so they came to a point where they really could trust him. And you know, the honest truth is most people are going to receive Jesus through another person who they like and respect. And so a real strategy to this, to helping kids come to know Jesus, is for them coming to know and trust and love us too. And so we're just going to go through some basics right now of how you actually build a relationship with a kid. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, this is not rocket science. You're not going to hear anything necessarily new, but I think if we actually add some intentionality to these relationships we're forming, we are going to see dramatic impact in these kids' lives. And that's what really counts. So let's get to it. The first thing you can really be doing is developing a system of tracking information about your kids. Now, I know that sounds kind of maybe cold and impersonal, but get this. If you even have a system as simple as tracking information about your kids, you are going to be able to know them and know what's going on in their lives. So this could be as simple as opening up your phone and opening up a little note and just taking down some names, tracking some key information. Maybe you're not as digital and you like to have a little physical notebook. You can review it after and before clubs, and you are gonna start building up a little library of information on your kids so you can just be jogging your memory. Now here's all the stuff that could be ending up in that as you're doing that, because another thing you wanna be doing is genuinely showing an interest in your kids. You know, C.S. Lewis, he said that you have never encountered a mere mortal. And what he meant is anytime you come into contact with somebody, there is so much more than what meets the eyes. And I think the temptation with kids is we look at them and we kind of see them as one-dimensional. They're very simple. You know, you're talking to Timmy and all he wants to talk about is monster trucks. Literally, there is nothing else going on in this kid's life than monster trucks. You talk to little Susie and all she wants to tell you about is her cat and everything her cat does. And you start to wonder if there's anything else going on in these minds of these kids. But I think we have to understand that there's so much going on underneath the surface, even of a small child. And our goal as we lead these clubs and get to know these kids is to peel back the layers of these kids' souls and get to know who they are as people. And as you show an interest in your kids, try to figure out who are their siblings? What's their family dynamic like at home? What kind of food do they like to eat? And start tracking that stuff in your notebook or on your phone. And as you build these relationships with these kids, you can show an interest in their interests. And that is going to show them that you truly value them as people. You know, another thing you could just be doing that's real simple is use names. You know, you're gonna have handfuls of kids running around and it's gonna be real tempting to be like, hey, you in the red shirt. Hey, little girl who's pulling that other kid's hair. And you're gonna start just getting used to these kids in your mind of their little nicknames, and yet there is nothing more sweet to someone's ears than hearing their own name. So as soon as you possibly can, start learning your kids' names and say them as much as you possibly can. When they come in the room, when they leave the room, when you call on them, when you affirm them, when you pray for them, anytime you can use their name, use it. And your little notebook or phone is gonna help you do that on a regular basis. But it's not even just using names, because you're gonna have tons of opportunities to help lift the spirits of your kids and show them real value. And one of the ways you can do that is actually by giving them jobs and responsibilities. Now, I know we're thinking, you know, most people don't really like to do stuff. They don't want to take on responsibility. And don't worry, that will come in middle school. But you don't need to worry about that right now. You've got kids. And the funny thing about kids is they want to do stuff. They want to have responsibilities. They want to feel like they're important. And it can be the smallest task in the world. It can be starting and stopping the music in the room. It can be helping to pass something out, helping with the snack, or closing down and cleaning up the room. Your kids will feel such a sense of pride and ownership over their club when they feel like they're involved in making it happen. So any time you can identify a simple task, invite your kids to come and be a part of it, and they will feel a real sense of ownership that this is my club. But another thing you actually think about doing is really connecting outside of the content. You know, I think a lot of the people who like to serve in clubs, they tend to be type A, they're teachers, they love to interact with kids, they like to be organized, and sometimes we can be so tempted to follow the script that we miss out on the whole point, which is these kids and the relationship with us and Jesus. And so I would encourage you to sometimes allow yourself to get off the script. You never know, but God may use an interruption as a divine moment to transform a child's life. You might have a real moment with a one-on-one time with a child. You might have an opportunity to really connect and have a meaningful moment that is not on the script at all. And those are the times when God can move the most. So be open to getting off the script and connecting outside the content. And the last thing I just want to encourage you with is be yourself. This is your chance to be a kid again. Have some fun, jump around, have some of the snack yourself, loosen up a little bit. Let these kids see that you have that childlike spirit that God affirms. So loosen up, it's gonna be so much fun, and this is your chance to be a kid again yourself. And as we kind of close this training, I wanna let you know that people just loved being around Jesus. Kids loved being around Jesus. And our goal is for our kids to love being around us, because as they come to know and trust us, they are going to be much more likely to come to know and trust Jesus. And that is what this is all about.